Pluto square Sun in the natal chart. Palpably awkward personality. If you're watching this video, you might be curious about how this affects yourself or a friend that has this square. Or you might be wondering what it's like in synastry. Well, I want to talk about the energies involved in this square. I'll briefly discuss the negatives and the positives about it. I also want to go over what I've gathered about how it behaves as a generational aspect. Lastly, how to deal with it in your chart, and what will the karma be like? Oh, Pluto. We love to hate him, right? We call him Hades. He's always dragging us down into endless shadow work and digging without rest, or even a solution. And the sun, light of our world, giving life to everything we know. It's the universal father, nourishing us from birth until death. Pluto square Sun. They're almost like exact opposites, aren't they? Well, not exactly. They have at least one similarity. Both Pluto and the Sun are about personal power. Where they're different, though, is that Pluto represents Scorpio and at times Mars, while the Sun represents Leo, the boss, and our identity. On the zodiac wheel, these two signs are squared to one another. The problem comes in because your identity is intended to shine and get attention, while Scorpio wants to hide and thinks that power comes after strategizing and protecting itself from interference. The good news is that there are many areas in life where this square can come in handy. More on that example later. What's the problem with this, though? This square causes issues surrounding your identity. You might find yourself asking questions like, what do I look like to others? How do people see me? If not in touch with this insecure part of ourselves, it can cause an insecure neuroticism about how to behave around others. You might accidentally come across as competing to seem important. Sometimes this aspect can make the native misunderstand that others are not addressing you, and they're not attacking the identity. The native could feel like defending their persona and coming off as competitive at inappropriate times. If you have this square natally, you can make things about you that weren't intended to be about you. You could also sometimes maybe feel depressed about your meaning in life. You could obsess about your purpose in life and making a huge difference, even when a smaller goal would have been a better goal, and get more appreciation than competing would have. As a generational aspect, though, how does this affect our age group and friendship circles? The Pluto of many of your peers and friends will cause an itching effect on this square. Many of your friends can send you repeated karmic lessons that everything isn't about your identity, and with the lesson that you need to be honest about your intentions. You might lose friends who become paranoid about your intentions if they think there's some passive-aggressive attitudes that you hold towards them, even if you don't. If you're the friend or lover of this person, you might constantly be thinking, wait, did I say something wrong? You may feel confused that a comment you made caused this person to suddenly become sullen, as if their feelings were hurt by something. This aspect does not have to be debilitating, though. What are the good things about this square? Well, Pluto having this grinding and polishing effect after some friction can cause some positive lessons. It can cause the identity to shine more without constraints. The result in someone more mature can be a greater sense of purpose. They might learn a deep sense of acceptance and show others by example that it's okay to be ourselves. I have one example of this square, and it works out in their favor. This person has Sun in Capricorn, square Pluto in Libra. Well, their Sun's ruler, Saturn, is actually in Scorpio, so the energy plays out again, just with this planetary placement. This square has served my friend greatly because, as a personal therapist, patient confidentiality is the #1 rule. Carefully poring over personal details in secret while remaining professional is exactly what they do best. The need to constantly analyze how they relate to others is always present. That's just one example. So, how do we look at this from the perspective of the karmic lesson? The karmic lesson here is that it's okay to be open, to just be, to not be dragged down by negative thinking. That's the work involved. Pluto is the one energy that can't be overcome while in the energy. The work is to dive down and then to come up for air before you drowned. The work is not in going down, it's in learning to come back up. Once this lesson is learned, the Pluto square Sun native can teach others how to shine brightly, to throw caution to the wind and accept ourselves, to be brave in the face of criticism. The alternative is, though, that you might isolate those people trying to work with you because they may end up not trusting your motives. The most important thing this person can do to work on this karma is to be honest with themselves about what they're trying to achieve. Sharing common goals can be mutually beneficial. Give others the opportunity to make decisions with you to avoid becoming a tyrant. Know when your secrecy is appropriate and know when it's not. If you have any questions about the topics I've gone over in this video, leave your comment and I'll try to upload another video promptly answering any questions you've had. Thank you for your time. Please subscribe for more and good luck on your karmic journey.